Welcome into the bunker of General Gridiron, Bill Marshall of football forecasting. We're about to map out the way this college football weekend is going to go. Will your favorite team be marching to victory? Or will the enemy be taking your battle flag? On this second Saturday in October, conference play is really heating up, and that comes just in time for the autumn chill. Now don't forget, have your trusted old coat get a good cleaning. So grab your helmet and man those battle stations. We're ready for another round of General Gridiron's football foretelling. South Carolina at Tennessee. Cocky and the Coots head for the Smokies in this annual battle to see which team emerges unscathed through the treacherous tunnels on I-40 in western North Carolina. Beautiful part of the country. Under Jake Bentley, Carolina isn't slowing down when they reach high altitude. Falling Rock be danged, this sophomore signal caller wants to prove his decision to come to Columbia was the right one. And when the Garnet and Black reach the mountaintop known as Neyland Stadium, they'll send Butch's bunch snowballing into more turmoil at the Hill. The Generals victor, South Carolina. TCU at Kansas State. Purple rules during this high noon kick at Bill Snyder Family Stadium. The octogenarian skipper rolls out the Little Apple welcome for the visitors from south of the Red River. The coach and his Cats didn't get the job done last week in Austin, so a chance to topple number 6 TCU is the perfect treat for the K-Staters. But the road to Manhattan is a straight shot for Super Frog, and the Kenny Hill Three Ways of Scoring Parade will keep on hopping right through northeastern Kansas. The Generals victor, TCU. Auburn at LSU. A few days ago, some crazed Bayou Bengal fans started a GoFundMe campaign to help raise $12 million and get the school out of its guarantee to keep Ed Orgeron as chef in Baton Rouge. Thanks to a thrilling win at the Swamp, Coach O can now breathe a little easier, and knowing the fundraising campaign targeting him has only raised, get this, $340. The Plainsmen invade Death Valley with a lot of momentum, but remember the last time Auburn played in a stadium called Death Valley? Clemson took care of the Gus Bus, and it'll be deja vu all over again this football Saturday. The Generals victor, in an upset, LSU. Navy at Memphis. The American is looking like a real conference thus far. South Florida, UCF, and Navy are all undefeated and in the top 25. And at 4-1, the Tigers of Memphis may have had the best win in the league, a thumping of Power 5 UCLA. Pouncer ain't going to let the middies steam up Old Man River and lay siege on Memphis like Admiral Davis and the Yankee Navy did back in 1862. This time Memphis is going to put up a fight, but the not-so-thrilling option of Navy will dampen the powder, and the U of M's barrage will be off target. The Generals victor, Navy. Oklahoma versus Texas at Cotton Bowl Stadium. The Horns have been put to pasture far too often since Fentz led them to the Natty. A big part of the Bovines' belittlement has been the Big 12 rival located in Norman, Oklahoma. But did you catch what Iowa State did at the Palace last Saturday? This year's Red River rivalry will truly give the winner the leg up on getting their season in focus and keeping that lot of lizards in Fort Worth in check. This one will be like all the recent contests, a wild one, kind of like the Ferris wheel across the street at the State Fair of Texas. The Generals victor, Oklahoma. Still to come on this week's college football forecast. Urban Meyer's Buckeyes hit the pavement for a Big Ten battle at Nebraska. And the Ramblin' Wreck of Georgia Tech ride to South Beach looking for an upset over the U. Who'll win? I'll tell you in a moment. General Gridiron will be right back.
Hi. You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home just in case. Why would you do that?
Probably okay isn't okay. Call a cab, a car, or a friend.
Good choice.
Howdy, soldiers. This is General Gridiron back with you. Each week, this fabulous football forecast is heard on some of the finest radio stations all over the U.S. of A., including Marksville, Louisiana, KZLG FM 95.9, radio home of Bunky Panther football, and Fox Sports Arkansas, KWPS FM 99.7 in Hot Springs, Arkansas. We appreciate all of our radio affiliates. Now, let's get back into the football fight. Washington at Arizona State. Todd Graham's Tempe Pitchforkers have been looking forward to this weekend's contest for a long time in this late Saturday night showdown amongst the Cactuses. ASU was embarrassed 44-18 last season along the Puget Sound. The Dogs of 2017 are off to a rip-roaring start, and UW had so much fun thumping Sparky the Sun Devil in the past, why not make this an annual treat for the cantankerous Canines? The Generals victor, Washington. Texas A&M at Florida. Attention to the order. All fighting Aggies are to shine their brass, seniors blitz your boots, and grab their most lethal object for the long voyage to Gainesville. You may recall, Mike Gillislee and UF opened A&M's tenure in the SEC back in 2012, but that game was at Kyle Field and the last time these two teams faced off against each other. Now, for the first time as conference brethren, the Corps of Cadets march into the swamp and face an angry bunch of Alberts still in shock that Coach O got the best of them last week. This will be an instant classic, and Orange and Blue will have the best military regimen. The Generals victor, Florida. Ohio State at Nebraska. The so-called experts are saying this Big Ten bonanza in Lincoln could be Mike Riley's last stand as Nebraska coach. And oddly enough, earlier this week, the coach's longtime previous employer, Oregon State, gave its head coach the pink slip. On the other sideline, Coach Urban Meyer will do his dangest to make sure the home crowd thinks a midseason coaching change is indeed forthcoming for NU. Ohio State's defensive ends Sam Hubbard and Jalen Holmes are ready to shuck the corn right out of the Husker O. The Generals victor, Ohio State in a blowout. Arkansas at Alabama. Alabama is really good, the #1 team in the country, and ready to punch their first ticket for the SEC championship game inside Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Arkansas just can't get off the schneid under Brett Bielema, and that trend will not change during Saturday evening's face-off inside Bryant-Denny Stadium. The Elephants will stomp, stomp, stomp that piggy right back to the Ozarks. The Generals victor, Alabama. Georgia Tech at Miami. The Coral Gables Stormtroopers get the Generals salute for their perseverance in last week's thrilling win over the rival Noles. And what a gutsy call by the old QB turned head coach, going for the end zone instead of the easy kick. The Canes get back to the casino for an ACC Coastal knock-'em-out with the Waspers from the Georgia Institute of Technology. Can the curveball thrown by Paul Johnson's clock-killing offense slow the Miami Storm surge? Yes. And a well-rested Jackets D will do its part in the upset of number 11 Miami 2. The Generals victor, Georgia Tech. We've already looked at the weekend's biggest battles across the land, but hang on to your helmet, there's more around the corner. We'll be back in just a jiffy to wrap up this week's General Gridiron with our rapid-fire picks.
Recently, our country has witnessed catastrophic devastation. Hurricanes and flooding have upended lives and livelihoods.
Across this great country, Americans have answered the call.
That special calling that compels us, when others are down, to step up and do whatever it takes.
America's at her best when, against all odds, we come together and lift each other up.
Please donate to oneamericaappeal.org. America needs you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is General Gridiron back with you. We've already maneuvered through this week's frontline college football showdowns. Now, it's time to fix bayonets and storm the field with our rapid-fire football forecast. Virginia downs North Carolina. Mississippi State rings BYU's bell. Louisiana Monroe attacks Georgia State. Duke downs Florida State. William and Mary, both of them, cook Delaware. UCLA aggravates Arizona. NC State mixes Pittsburgh. Southern Miss beats UTEP. Michigan State manages Minnesota. Illinois State out-Illinois Southern Illinois. West Virginia has a couch party against Texas Tech. Oklahoma State obliterates Baylor. Maryland crawls past Northwestern. Oregon in a close one at Stanford. Wisconsin wallops Purdue. Vanderbilt out-parties Ole Miss. Louisville rebounds versus Boston College. Georgia buries Missouri. Utah in an upset over USC. And with ESPN Game Day in the house, Coach Mike Houston's James Madison Dukes will look presidential against Villanova. Well, troops, you can now put your swords back in their scabbards. we're all out of picks on this week's edition of General Gridiron. We'll be back again next week, same General Gridiron time, same General Gridiron station. So don't forget to tune us in on the radio, Facebook, and YouTube TV. And please don't forget to tell your friends all about the show. Simply search for General Gridiron. This is John Rawl, the General of Gridiron Glory, thanking you for letting me be a part of your weekend fun. General Gridiron is a production of CRM Sports. For more, log on to crmsports.com.
That'll be all. Y'all